Hey guys, this is Zach with WorkingJoesRoundtable.com. I'm here to talk about sort of the origins of the Working Joes website, which is WorkingJoesRoundtable.com. It's an HVAC forum. It's just an interface to see new YouTube videos, get data on units that you might be working on in the field. I'm building an HVAC library of that and some training materials and some other reference materials that you would use. There's access to my Pro channel, which is Town & Country Air Pro. That's the company I own is Town & Country Air. I'm here in the southeastern part of North Carolina. And the Town & Country Air Pro channel is a paid YouTube subscription that is more for advanced training for HVAC techs and anyone else who wants to learn the HVAC field. The other channel that I run was called Talyn875. That's how it was known for several years before I switched it. I switched it to Working Joes Roundtable so that it would match up with the website, and things that were on the website would be embedded from that channel so you could watch some of the clips on either YouTube or on the website. Some of the videos on the website are exclusive to the website. They are not hosted from YouTube. They are from a different location, so you always want to check on the website and see what's on there, because they won't always have the same material that's on the Working Joes Roundtable YouTube channel, which, as a reminder, was Talyn875 originally. Now, I started Talyn875 in 2011. I've been doing that for about 5.5 years, coming up on 6 years in January. But it started to take a different turn after a few years of doing that channel, and it didn't right away, but I want to sort of explain how it is that I've gotten to this point so you guys might understand what's going on as far as my mentality in creating this particular website and YouTube channel, and what led to things like the Pro channel. It was 2013 in September, so roughly 3 years ago. I was at home, my wife was at home, the kids were at school, or at, might have been daycare at that time. I'm trying to think, it might have been in kindergarten, my twins. But I was at home with my wife, she was getting ready for work, and I heard a thud when I was in the living room. Now, I didn't think much of it. I thought it was something outside. I lived in the town, at this point, in the middle of the town, so there was always noise coming from outside, so I didn't pay any attention to it. So after a few minutes, I began to wonder, and I called my wife's name. She didn't answer. I called it again. She didn't answer again, so I went into our bedroom where she was lying on the floor unconscious. Now, I called an ambulance to the house. She was breathing, but she was unresponsive. I didn't know if she'd had a stroke. I didn't know what had happened. Her father died of a huge heart attack. Her mother's had issues all her life. So I was thinking the worst at that point. We took her to the hospital. They sort of gathered that she might have had a panic attack or something like that. So we went with that. I mean, we have to go with what people tell us on what's going on. We came back home that night. I was able to see it firsthand. She was laying on the couch and she seized right in front of us, both myself and my mother-in-law, who had come up to the house. We called the paramedics again. It was for the local hospital. We decided, me and her decided that we were going to, instead of going to the local hospital, go to a more major hospital, which was New Hanover Regional Medical Center. Once we got there, and I explained that she had seized, and some of the paramedics thought it might be some sort of panic attack or stress-related thing. It didn't seem right to me. It didn't sit well with me, and I took her down to the hospital, and it was ascertained that she was just having, grand mal seizures. So we knew that obviously she was going to keep having them, because evidently that's what she had had that morning, even though I didn't get to see it firsthand. So they gave her, I think, Ativan that night, which would prevent the seizures. There's some side effects of these medicines, but it does help in preventing the seizures. So we were, turned upside down. Over the next weeks, months, years, she continued to have seizures until they kind of regulated the medicine properly. She could no longer drive. I had to do all the driving for our family, which would entail, taking the children to school sometimes, picking them up from schools, doctor's appointments. And you can imagine anyone out there that has children. I have 3 children. They all 3 play sports. They're all 3 in school. 20,000 activities a day, it seems like. So all that kind of fell on me to transport them around, and of course that adversely affected how the work schedule was going. Because it didn't matter how much work I had. If I was completely loaded down, it didn't matter because it was on me to figure out how to do all the family activities as well. And I want you guys to know this, that I'm not complaining about this, and I'm not bitching about this. I'm just communicating sort of what has happened and brought me to this point. I think we are on a path that we are sort of destined for. We just have to accept that destiny. So that's the path I'm on, and I'm very happy. I love my wife. I love my kids. I wouldn't have changed anything. And I think these paths are made for a reason. Now, I don't know what the reason is, but that's the faith that I have in. So, years go by and the medicine's adapted, but still there's many incidents where I'm called in, and it's an uneasy feeling. I leave for work. I don't know what's going to happen that day. I don't know if I'm going to get called in 2 hours and from my daughter, or get a text from my wife that's half gibberish, half English, saying that misspelling the word "I had a seizure," and then have a bunch of F's and G's and stuff in the way. And it's exactly what you think. It's like someone butt dialed you, except it's my wife trying to hit the buttons after she's had a seizure. And it happened a lot. It would happen, 10 times a month sometimes. So it was virtually impossible to really have a cohesive work schedule. But I was trying my best. But it was loosely held together. We'll just say it that way. So after years go by and we're continuing to deal with this problem, she's continuing to try to get it under control. It's a lot better off than it started. If she has a seizure, typically it's few and far between. And the couple she's had recently are only because she's forgotten her medicine. She didn't have her medicine with her and she had a seizure. Which, that's not good, but that's a lot better off than when we started. So we've sort of adapted to this situation. But still, there's an ongoing issue. Beyond that, there's health concerns, that are not even related to that. So I started thinking to myself, I have to think of ways to adapt to the situation. I love my wife, I love my kids. They come first, everything else comes second. So let me see if I can find something that works for me, that works for them, and I can proceed with. So I came up with the Pro Channel. The Pro Channel was an idea that I wanted to make. Basically, I wanted to have an occupation as a HVAC trainer. I wanted to train as many people as would pay the $1.99. So I knew that if I made something good, guys would pay for it, and I could make some money that way. And if they felt like they had a good product, then they would stay on. Of course, the channel had a free trial, so anyone who didn't like the videos didn't have to subscribe. But I'm glad to say that I think there's about 400 guys, maybe a little bit over 400 now, that do watch the videos, and they have subscribed, and I'm very grateful to you. And it's not because I want to tell you this stuff to say, oh, poor guy, let's subscribe because his poor wife is sick. That's not what I want. What I want is to give you a product that I can do that fits with my life, that will work for you. And that's the whole idea behind all this stuff. Give you something you need that you'll pay $1.99 for, or you'll go to the website for. That's the whole idea behind the website. It's a new venture, and I hope it grows, and I hope it does end up being a way that I can have a secondary occupation, whether through advertising on the website, through selling tool products, reviewing tool products, things like that, things I've never done before. In fact, I stayed at the other end of the spectrum because I thought it dirtied up the waters as far as tool companies. And you guys have seen my videos. I don't want to be controlled by tool companies. I don't want to be controlled by anybody. But if it's a product I like, I have no problem putting it up there, and I can work with the companies on those products, like things like iManifold, the DAFM3, which we'll talk about in a second because there's something coming up on that. These tools that I use, that I believe in, that's something I could get behind, and it might be something that I can work with that will benefit both the guys in the field and myself. So that's sort of the idea of what I'm doing here. A lot of guys have disagreed with it, and I try to convince them to take a look at it and see if it's worth their while. Some of them have their mind made up just from the fact that it's especially the Pro Channel, that they charge money. But all I can say is give it a shot. If you watch the videos on the free trial and you think it's not worth it, then you don't have to subscribe. I mean, it's capitalism. You know, if you think it's worth it, then subscribe. I think that I'll be able to give you something that's worthwhile, because I'm willing to sit down and listen to you and say, hey, what do you need? What do you want training on? You know, we have training on airflow. Airflow is the biggest thing in our industry, I think. You know, and we're going to talk about that again in a second and on upcoming videos. Airflow is the biggest thing because it's the most neglected thing to me. People say don't have enough airflow. There's no verification. There's a lot of opinion, but no verification. Verified airflow is not a widely done thing, for lack of a better phrase. People don't check airflow. They don't check the specifics. They have theories that this duct looks too small. We don't have good airflow. But people don't actually check it. The intricacies of relays, how just simple relays work to adapt the system. That's something we've talked about, we'll continue to talk about. Load calculation. Load calculation, for some reason, whether it be because my father, that's what his whole deal was. Load calculation, I can just understand. It's something that when I look at it, I just understand it. There's some things I look at and I have no idea how to do it. And I look in the module, says, how does all this stuff work? I'm not sure. But load calculation, I know. So, maybe not your guy to tell you what all the electronics are in your VCR, but I can definitely tell you how much heat's coming through this wall. And I can tell you how many tons of air conditioning is going to take to heat or cool the structure. WorkingJoesRoundtable.com, I started that a few weeks ago. I thought it was the logical next step. A place to put together YouTube videos, top YouTube videos, tool videos, so you can get a feel of the newest tools that are coming out. Guys like John M. with his great reviews of tools, he'll be up there. We had Chuck up there with his Hillmore tool. We had Steve and John with the knockout tool from the blower. Great Furnace Man is talking about that one as well. And we have I do 5 YouTube videos a week. We highlight those as just ones that are very educational. Might show you things that you haven't seen before. Guys like, let's see, Rasta Kicker, NorCal. He works on. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. He works on a wide array of different appliances and systems. Guys like HVACR Junkie, relatively new to the scene, but he works on some very interesting stuff. We can learn a lot from him. He just did the video on, I think, cooling towers just recently, and I want to say we posted that one. I'm not sure, but if we have a new one from him, I'll put it up there. And we have oldie goldies. Guys have been around for a while. We have Israel. TNN. If he'll make a video, we'll put it up there. Come on, TNN. Steve Lav. Steve Lav cranks out more videos than anybody else. Puts more time into it than anybody else, and he still makes great material. So you'll see Steve Lav up there. You'll see Chuck up there from Comfort Plus. You'll see Stephen Raridan up there. You'll see Billy Noth. You'll see guys from all across YouTube will be up there. If it looks like they've cranked out a good video, I'll try to put it up there so you guys can see it. Now, my videos, I don't put them on the highlight thing because then, it seems like a little much. It's my website. I'm not going to put my videos on the highlight thing. But I really encourage you to check out the Working Joe's Roundtable YouTube channel. Check out the videos on the website. Check out the website. We have the HVAC library that's getting bigger all the time. Reference materials. Just all sorts of information. Information about manufacturers. Right now I'm starting in my territory. Heat pumps, air conditioners, furnaces. We have a few oil furnaces on there from Heil, ICP, but not a whole lot of oil furnace stuff. We don't have that much stuff on ice machines and refrigeration. It's just not my area. So I'm going to draw on guys that have experience. Maybe I'll get them in there to tell me what are the forms and the links that you need in the field. Maybe you guys that are listening right now that are refrigeration guys. I mean, what do you get out there on and you're like, I need to have some information on it. Refrigeration stuff, I know a lot of it looks relatively simple as far as the controls, but maybe you have some of the newer electronic controls that would be nice to have the manual for. I know Emerson makes some of that stuff. If there's anything in that area that you need, let me know. Phone number 910-789-4714. The best thing to do is text me, because I'm still out fixing ACs myself, fixing furnaces and heat pumps mostly and ACs. So, got 4 service calls on Monday, looks like. Some are still here. So, send me the information. Text it to me. You can email me. ZACHARYPSIODA, all one word, at gmail.com. Email me what you need. Let me know what you need so I can improve, so I can make sure my site is successful and you have the information you need. Anything that you want to add to the site or think should be there, let me know. I mean, I'm doing it for you guys and for myself. And I want it to be successful, because if it's not successful, I mean, what's the point, eh? So I need whatever you guys want on the site to communicate it to me. If you want to see the Pro Channel Hangouts come back, let me know. I want to make sure I do everything I can to make sure this works out. If there's something on YouTube you want to see, today I'm filming the iConnect versus the DAFM3 airflow. We're going to make sure the iConnect stacks up to the DAFM3 and vice versa, to see how close they are as far as their airflow estimation. I filmed the first half of the video, but I had to wait because the iConnect, the return air, was too cold in my house because it had been running, so I had to let it warm up a little bit, which is good. So we're going to see. The DAFM3 gave me a nice estimate of around 1075 CFM, between 1075 and 1100 on a 3-ton system. So somewhat like a comfort mode setting, 350 per ton, a little bit over that. So we'll see what the iConnect says. So if they're right dead on, I mean, that's a pretty good sign for the iConnect, saying that, hey, this estimate really works well. If there's a huge gap or some large difference, try to figure out why that is. We might bring in a third source to confirm which one is right. Maybe static pressure. Of course, static pressure, like a lot of people say, static pressure deals with a certain temperature, a certain amount of moisture in the air, which is none. So it's not going to be exactly right. But hopefully, using this variety of methods, we can see which one is the closest. So it should be fun. Hell, we might even talk about Stay Bright. Oh, Stay Bright, where you been all my life? So, guys, I'm dedicated to make this work. I'm gonna do everything I can. I'm gonna try to talk to some of these tool guys. I've already talked to, shout out to Billy Knopf. He's very good at getting access to tools to test, and I reached out to him and called him, and we talked for about 40 minutes, and he was giving me tips on what to do, and I'm very grateful for that. And I take my hat off to him for helping me. I really appreciate that. Took time out of his day to talk to me for that long to try to help me out. We're going to be giving away some tools, nothing big, at least not right now. I have a few of them in a basket over here. Let's take a peek. Let's see. Just stuff that I use at work. I mean, I love this thing. I get my little tool things from the tackle section of Walmart because it has that gasket in there and they're watertight. We have some weird ass wrenches. We'll try that. The Skill Secure Grip. I'm not sure what this is all about, but this might be the worst or greatest tool you've ever owned. And let's see here. We have, the speed slide. We're already doing a contest for it. If you're not aware of the contest for the speed slide, it's over on workingjoesroundtable.com. Just go to the post. It'll list post on the left side of the screen. And all the post is like a blog. Each morning I write like an article. And you'll see one on a tool giveaway. You just click on it and make a comment, and you're in the giveaway. And we have good old light. And I found this one at Walmart. Same as the ones the supply house sell for half the cost. Because I'm a cheap ass. Let's see here. And we have a few of these bottle openers. I figured they'd be kind of nice. Little Stanley bottle openers. So I got a few of those to give away as well. And Rob HVAC, which is RJ Dippold Homeworks, donated some Nylog. So we're going to give away that Nylog too. So all in good time. Once a week, and that ought to last us for a while because I have like 3 bottle openers. And I have some, like a tie strap, a winch for the back of the truck. I always use winches to hold my stuff down. So I got one of those too. I figured that'd be a cool thing to give away as well. Shit, we may even give away this module. It'll hold down your desk papers real well. It won't cool anything or make a blower work. Maybe we'll give away a Goodman insignia. Nope, don't want that? Okay. So that's what it's all about, guys. I want to sit down and kind of have a heart-to-heart with you guys, because that's what it is. It's just my way of making things work out, and I hope you're down with it, and I hope you join me for this journey, and I hope it goes well and we go far. So continue to watch the channel. Like I said, there'll be that iManifold versus UEI DAFM3 video coming up soon. And of course, more stuff on the Pro channel. I didn't have my blog filmed for today, but I'm going to do that too, so that'll be coming up shortly. And episode 17 part 2 will come out Tuesday morning. So we might throw out another one before then or right after, I'm not sure. Thanks for listening to the video, guys. Again, I really appreciate it. A lot of you guys are very loyal subscribers that have been around for a long time, and I appreciate you sticking with me and giving this a shot. That means the world to me. And I hope that we go far together, and I'm here for many more years to come. Thanks, guys. I'll see you on the next one.